If you solve people's problem, people will get stuck with you. You become irreplaceable, like I have said. So create value for yourself in this year. In addition to that, your year vision board, in addition to that resolution of being kind, of being forgiving, of being happy, of being healthy, ensure that in the process of doing that, you're creating value for people. Now, that starts with you. You have to create value for yourself and then extend that value to other people. And that is what makes you successful. I want you to remember this. Whatever you find yourself doing, do not just do it because you want to pay the bills. Do not just do it because you want the money to come in. Always ask yourself, am I satisfied? Am I happy doing this thing? Am I wanting to solve problems for people? Am I part of a theme that we want to impact people, we want to create value for people? If the answer is yes, then keep on keeping on. You're on the right track, because definitely people that create value are the successful ones. However, if the answer is a no, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, how do I create value for people? Welcome to 2021 and Happy New Year to you all. I am really excited that we all made it. Yes, 2020 is gone and gone forever. It was a year, isn't it? It was filled with lots of uncertainties, lots of challenges, but yeah, it's gone. I was speaking to somebody and I was saying to the person, 2020, that was at some point in the year. I said, just come and go, just go. We have had enough. But we're glad we're in 2021 now. We're going to start a fresh, new beginning. We're going to prepare ourselves to face whatever comes our way. And that is why I am starting this year with creating more value for yourself in 2021. I'll be sharing my thoughts on how you can add value to yourself and how you can that value you have, how you can extend it to others, because that is what I term as success. When you're successful is when you remain valuable, you prepare yourself for that time of opportunity, and the value you have within you, you extend it to others. That is what success is. Today, I'll be talking to you a lot about that. I know that some of you would have New Year resolutions, you have like plans, you have in place, you have vision boards and all that. Yeah, but I am looking at it from a point of making yourself valuable, making yourself useful, trying to impact people's lives in a positive way. And that's where that's the point where I'm going to be looking at it from. I want you to stay till the end of this episode, because I'm going to be sharing some thoughts with you so that we're not going to be caught unaware, because of course we still do not know what 2021 holds. And of course, we want to be prepared for it. If opportunity comes, we want to grab it. And if challenges come, we want to be prepared to face those challenges. If this is the first time you're joining us, Happy New Year to you, and thanks for joining me today. This is the Bola Adeyeye Omishade Show. a community where we support people to be the best version of themselves, to identify your purpose, to communicate the message, communicate your message. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, do not forget to subscribe and also to click on the notification button so that you do not miss our future episodes. Thank you. I appreciate every time that you're going to spend here. And also to my returning viewers, yay, thank you for joining me. I'm always excited that you're coming back and that you come back all the time to listen and share in what I have for you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Right, so creating value for ourselves, it's always very hard when, I'll give you an instance. Lots of people lost their jobs last year, and at the same time, even with those challenges, there were lots of opportunities, and those opportunities were open to those who were prepared for that opportunity. Those people who had spent so much time preparing for the unknown, those people who had spent so much time thinking about how can I make a difference. I'll share a story with you. I know somebody who actually loved her job so much, and that she was always thinking of how she was going to make the customers happy. And she was looking for different ways to make the customers happy. And she spent so much time researching, asking questions, Now, one thing I realized about her was that in the process of trying to meet the customer's needs, trying to add value to people's lives, she was impacting in her own self. She was investing in her own self. Every time she sat on the computer hours and hours, ensuring that the customers were satisfied, ensuring that they left the business happy, ensuring that the reason why they came into the business, they actually met their goals. Now, in the process of doing that, she went for so many trainings, she went for so many events. Now, in that process, she kept adding value to herself. Now, the other thing I realized is that she did love her job. She loved the job. So the first thing is, in the process of trying to create value for yourself in this year, I want you to look at it from a point or from a place of wanting to impact people's lives. Now, whether you have a business or you're working under a business, you need to ask yourself, how am I impacting people's lives? How am I creating value into people's lives? Because in the process of doing that, you make conscious efforts in looking for ways to impact their lives. Now, if you're just going to your job or you're doing your job to pay your bills, I don't know, it's a bit tricky, isn't it? Because you just keep going to the job and you pay your bills and that's it. Are you satisfied with that? Are you satisfied with just paying your bills and living a normal life? I know that while going there, but then it doesn't come with you being fulfilled. That's my point of view. So if this is you go to job, let them get paid, let me get paid and I get out of here. then I think it's time for you to ask yourself, what do I like to do? Now, do not forget I said this person loved what she did. And if you do not love what you do, this is the point where you need to start thinking of a change. Start thinking of, this is the time when I need to change jobs because I want to be satisfied. I want to add value to people so that I can add value to myself. This is the time where you need to start thinking about that. So every I was watching I think something on YouTube or so, and I think Steve Jobs was saying that the successful people are people that love what they do. And I remember when I was doing my PhD, I loved it so much that I never got fed up of sitting on the computer researching. I could sit on the computer for hours and hours because I loved it. One time my mom was in the US, and she stayed on the video call with me for so many hours, and she wondered how I sat there. You know, it wasn't, there was, yes, I wanted the PhD, of course, but at the same time, I loved sitting on the computer researching, trying to find out what the problem was. How can I find a solution to it? You know, so if you do not love what you are doing, whether you're a fashion designer, or you're a healthcare worker, or you sell clothes, or you do whatever, you know, ask yourself, am I doing this to make impact? Now, if you're making clothes for people, you need to ask yourself, why am I making clothes for people? Why? Am I trying to fill in a gap? You know? Now, in the process of doing that, you begin to ask, what is it other people are doing that I am not doing? Alternatively, you can ask yourself, what can I do differently? Because of course, we don't know what the next 10 years will be. So you need to prepare for that time. You need to prepare for the future. You need to prepare. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that, I remember some time ago, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, we were looking at iPhone 7, but now we have iPhone 12 because it's evolving, the world is evolving, and businesses are evolving with it. So you need to evolve as well. You need to evolve and see how you can add value, especially looking at the fact that the world is changing. You need to change with the world. Do not just stay there. Do not just be, oh, I'm satisfied, I can put food on my table, and you know, you're just going to stay there and you end up regretting this. And that is why I am saying to you today, in 2021, I want you to prepare for that time of opportunity. I want you to prepare for that time where you look at yourself and you are satisfied that you are impacting somebody's lives positively. In that process, you add more value to yourself. I know some of you might say that I don't have anything to offer. You know, I cannot create value for people because I don't have anything. But you see, there's one thing everyone has got: time. I have also realized that people appreciate it when you can't even give them money, you can't give them maybe your skills, but you give them your time. People would appreciate it, you know. Give them your time. And when I mean value, it does not have to be your skills alone. You can give emotional value by looking after somebody that needs help by picking up the phone to comfort somebody, those are value. You're creating value for people. And at the same time, I remember in one of my episodes, I was saying for you to, you need to help others. And in the process of helping others, you become happy. You feel fulfilled because in the process of helping somebody, you are exchanging your time for that care or that need that person wants. So you do not need to have the whole world to be able to create value. You do not need to have the whole world. So now I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to create value for people? Now you can also twist the question in this way. What do people need that I can provide? What in your field, what do people need that I have access to? I used to remember that when I was a lot younger, everyone is very competitive and we're very selfish, isn't it? We always want to be the first in our classes, in our examination, but growing up, I realized that it's okay to be at the top, but it's okay for everyone to be at the top. So if you have a knowledge of something, you can as well share it because you're creating value. If you know somebody is stuck and is trying to solve a problem, and you know somebody that can solve that problem, why not connect those two people? Pick up the phone and connect them. You're creating value. You can do that. If you have a knowledge, you have studied hard, and you understand this thing, it's okay to call your colleagues and say, okay, I understand this now. I have read it, or I have passed the exam. I'm happy to impact this knowledge to you. And that is creating value. When you create value for people, you in return create value for yourself. And that is why I say create more value for yourself in 2021. You want to make yourself also irreplaceable. Yes. I know that there is no one that is not irreplaceable, but put yourself in a position where it is difficult for people to let go of you. That is because you have so much to offer and you are freely giving it. Well, when I mean freely, I mean it's easy for you to give those things. Is it your time? Is it your skill? Is it your effort? Make it easy to give those things, and people will value you. You will become irreplaceable because people would appreciate everything that comes out of you. In 2021, I want you to see yourself valuable. See yourself creating value for other people. It is important that I remind you that it's okay to give people your time, but you also need to understand how to set the boundaries, and understand the amount of time you want to give to people, because of course you don't want to keep giving people time and forget about yourself, okay? So know how to set boundaries, and that also comes from valuing yourself. So you need to value yourself first, okay, before you are able to give other people. That I have the spare time, or of course maybe I don't have the skills, like I said, and I want to give my time, but have I actually invested in my own self before thinking about that? This is very, very key. Now, investing in yourself can be in so many ways. And I'll use an example. If you're, for example, you're a fashion designer, and then you sew clothes, and maybe in 2021, a lot of people didn't buy clothes from you. You know, you need to think of, but people are wearing clothes, isn't it? That's the question you need to ask. People are wearing clothes. What can I do to meet people's needs? You know, what can I do to meet people's needs? Because of course they still wear clothes. You know, what kind of clothes do they wear at this time? You know, so you need to evolve. You need to change with the world. You know, and improve on your skills as well, because it might be that your skills are outdated. You know, you don't want to be in 2020, you want to be in 2021. And there are lots of, oh my God, you know, there are lots of resources online. You know, sometimes when I spend time on social media, I ask myself, what do I want to learn today? You know, I spend time on somebody's page and I'm trying to pick out one or two things that would add value to myself. Make the best use of social media. Some people say, oh, you spend time on social media, but that's the world now. You know, that is the world now. Social media is giving so much value and you need to make the best use of it. I'm not saying that's the only place you can get value from, but for every time you spend on social media, you need to actually benefit from the value it is giving to you. There are lots of information, lots of pages where you can learn from. A lot of people are sharing content. They're sharing resources. Learn from them to improve on yourself, to add value to yourself. Every opportunity that comes your way, you need to grab it. Grab it. If you see somebody that does similar thing to you, look at how they are evolving, look at what they are doing differently, and see how you can adapt. It is okay to adapt what people are doing. So do not say, oh, I don't want this person to think I'm copying them. Then you are going to stay in 2019. You're going to remain in 2019, and you do not want to remain in 2019. You want to move on. You want to be in 2021 and prepare for the future. So every opportunity, you know, every event that you think that is going to be useful for you, take your time to attend them. And this is not just career-wise, in regards to your health, in regards to your well-being, in regards to your relationship, in regards to your marriages. Because the way they do things in the past is not the same the way they do it now. So you need to do it the way they do it now. And do not stay where you are. Add value to yourself, impact to other people as much as you can. And in any way, whatever resources that you find around you, that is, you can see that is sharing, is creating value, make the best use of it. In this year, you have to make up your mind to create more value for yourself. You have to make up your mind to be a solution provider. I remember that was one of the word I used to use when I was after my BSc. And then when I went to an interview and I start with, I want to be a solution provider, you know. And I'm saying that to you today. You want to solve people's problems with your business, with your skills. If you are possibly making people's hair, look at how you can do it differently, especially with the restrictions. A lot of people want to make their nails, but with COVID, with the whole restrictions, and some people they cannot stay without making their nails. Now ask yourself, How can I meet these people's needs as well as adhere to the strict government restrictions? And this is the time where you begin to research, you begin to ask questions, and then one solution comes, and then you question the solution, and then you're trying to solve a problem. If you sell cars, you need to ask yourself, what kind of cars do people use? What kind of car do people use within this environment? How do people prefer to pay for their cars? What problem do people face with these kind of cars? And what other cars solve these problems? Then you create your own niche. At the time I was setting up a business with somebody, and then what we did was we went to different similar businesses, and we started looking at customer reviews, and then we looked at what people liked and what people didn't like, so that we're solving the right problem. If you solve people's problem, people will get stuck with you. You become irreplaceable, like I have said. So create value for yourself in this year. In addition to that, your year vision board, in addition to that resolution of being kind, of being forgiving, of being happy, of being healthy, ensure that in the process of doing that, you're creating value for people. Now, that starts with you. You have to create value for yourself and then extend that value to other people. And that is what makes you successful. I want you to remember this. Whatever you find yourself doing, do not just do it because you want to pay the bills. Do not just do it because you want the money to come in. Always ask yourself, am I satisfied? Am I happy doing this thing? Am I wanting to solve problems for people? Am I part of a theme that we want to impact people, we want to create value for people? If the answer is yes, then keep on keeping on. You're on the right track, because definitely people that create value are the successful ones. However, if the answer is a no, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, how do I create value for people? If you're not in the right job, this is a time where you need to start thinking, what do I want? What kind of job would I like to do? What kind of business do I like to do? I know this can be very hard, but it's never too late to start now. It is never too late to start now. If you have found this very useful, do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Share this with those that need to hear this in 2021 so that they can prepare for that time of opportunity. They can add value to themselves, make themselves valuable and irreplaceable. Share with your family, share with your friend. And yes, thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. This is Bola Adeyeye Omishade, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.